Shalom, brothers and sisters. And when I say shalom today, I mean I'm wishing peace on everybody because peace is not what we have. Today's July 14th, 2024, the day after our prior president was attempted to be murdered as he gave a campaign rally. And the reality of life is that the result of the fall in the Garden of Eden is that our society undergoes cycles of violence and instability. The first cycle culminated in the first destruction of Earth because all men's thoughts were evil continually. This pattern has played out over and over. Just in the last 100 years, almost exactly, we've had two world wars and a Cold War where governments attained power to exterminate life on Earth. We seem to be on the upswing of another cycle, with Israel being told to stop and make peace with demons, Russia invading Ukraine, mass shootings happening at an incredibly alarming pace, and now our former president's attempted assassination in broad daylight, and which resulted in the murder of an innocent person and critically wounding two others. And these events are meant to wear us down, to coarsen our hearts and elicit negative reactions, thus continuing the cycle. But this is not the path of believers. We've just lived through another startling historic event where we will remember exactly where we were when we learned that former President Trump was shot. Somebody tried to assassinate a former president at a campaign rally with a bunch of innocent people around. Three people behind the president were shot. And we learn this information through the same exact news outlets that continually ramp up the very rhetoric that caused the shooting. It appears that we're on a hamster wheel. The old adage of you are what you eat is true. Violence begets violence, and it doesn't start with a violent act. Our Messiah taught us, or rather reminded us, that it starts with evil thoughts, when you let the evil creep in. It starts with envy, with jealousy, and in many cases, poor souls believing that they're doing good. These clickbait, if it leads, bleeds, it leads media, and these lunatic internet personalities continually repeating increasingly violent rhetoric and hyperbole are causing society to fall apart. Our news diet is incredibly rich in vitamin fear to the point that we don't even notice it anymore. Certainly not on the level as we used to. The cycle will try to complete again with those who are in the world. We'll learn who the shooter was. Some will blame guns. Others will blame rhetoric. People will try to classify the crime so it can be put on the shelf. Rinse, repeat as necessary. But we will not. We know better. We know the cycle. We know we've been commanded to be peaceful stewards of the knowledge of God and His Christ. We know that Yahweh cares for all His creation and does not want any to perish. We know He sent His Son to suffer violence so we can have the opportunity for salvation. We know through Torah and the Messiah how to attain peace in this life. Believe in Yeshua, follow the Torah, and be positive influences, trying to draw people to our common faith, which is a peaceful faith. We choose to surround ourselves with loving brothers and sisters related by blood, related by marriage, related by the adoption we receive through the shed blood of Yeshua. My friends, stay strong in the faith in these trying times. Pray for our leaders. Pray for people to soften their hearts. Pray for the return of Yeshua. And if you're consuming all this media, stop. And I turned it off myself about a year ago, maybe a little less, and really changed which channels I was watching, limited it to just one or two easy media outlets that are thoughtful. And boy, did my disposition change. Being at peace with all men starts with the person in the mirror. Be humble, be peaceful, be in study, love God, love your neighbor, and if at all possible, so far as it depends on you, be at peace with all men. Shalom.